Hello, this is Bridget Round with Divine Essentials. Okay guys, we are moving on in the Munay-ki series. If you are somebody that's just clicking on here and you're like, what is the Munay-ki series? Basically, there's a series of videos that I've been doing every week where I've been giving out something called the Munay-ki rites. And I do this where I talk to you about each of the rites, and then you can go and get the rite through Vimeo. There will be a link in every video's description box for you to follow, and you can do that if you like. Basically, the first one's called What is the Munay-ki? What is the healer's rite? And that is the first of the series. So what I'm going to start doing is putting in all of the videos in sequential order as I go now, because people have been like emailing me and being like, hey, can I just jump in right now? And is it okay for me to skip this one? And basically you want to go through the 4 first ones. Like, definitely want to go through those. You can skip not getting the rest of the rites, but you don't want to just like jump in at the lineage rites. You want to go through the foundation rites first. So if you are here and you're interested in doing this, make sure you go back to the first video, which is probably 8 or 9 videos back now, because I've made meditations and I've done, readings and things like that. But basically, the first one is, what is Munay-ki? And then it had the healer's rite with it. So it's kind of combined. It explains to you what the rites are, and it gives you the first rites information. And then the second one is the bands of power. The third one is the harmony rite. The fourth one is the seer's rite. And then tonight we're moving on to the lineage rites, which is the first is the daykeepers rite. Okay, and anybody out there, I know we've done a lot so far, and we've been doing meditations, and we've been working with archetypes, and we've been having our third eye awakened, and we've been having our healing ability activated, and we've got a lot of stuff go down. So if you have any questions or anything going on that you want to share, feel free to either put it down below. You can always email me or find the Facebook group. It's called Munay-ki Rites with Bridget. There's a lot of people in there, and we're starting to get people talking back and forth to each other now. So it's good, because people are like, hey, you know what? Like, I had this galactic dragon for my crown, and somebody else had the same thing. So people are finding synchronicities and confirmations with each other. People are sharing their cards that they've pulled. I did the Jaguar meditation the other day, and somebody pulled the Jaguar card, I think the next day or right after she heard the meditation. So she shared it with the group. But basically the group is there for you to work with each other, to communicate, to ask questions, and the manual is in there. The Star Rites manual is in there, and all of the videos of how to give the rites to an actual person are in there, because it's hard for me to show you without having a person here with me. It's like I'm doing something invisible. So if you want to see me give the rites to a human being, you can go watch that in the group. You can get in the files the Munay-ki Rites manual or the Star Rites manual, depending on if you've gone through the Star Rites. And that's the other thing I wanted to say, that if you want to do the Star Rites, you can totally do the Star Rites while you're doing the Munay-ki, or you can wait until afterwards, or you can do them before. It doesn't matter how you do them, because they're not the same thing. It's like an extension of it. For me personally, what I went through was I did all of the Munay-ki, then I got the Soul Star Rite, which is the first of the Star Rites, and then I was friends with Natalie when she got the Golden Woven Path Rite, so I was like her test dummy on that one. And then I had the Lyran Triple Infinity Abundance Rite come in one night, and I was like, oh, this is a rite. So basically, once we get to the end of the Munay-ki, you'll understand more about the rites to come and why it's a little bit separate, I think. But basically, we all are going to be becoming channels, and you may have your own rites come in for you to share with the collective. That's the whole point here, is to share. So as soon as you get the Star Rites, you can give them. As soon as you get the first 2 rites of the Munay-ki, you can give them. The only thing that you have to do is wait with the Harmony Rite until you've got a relationship established with all of the different archetypes, and it takes about a week or 2 with each one of those archetypes. So right now, I have 2 of the meditations out that will help you guys to be guided with each one of them, to build a relationship with the you know, serpent with the jaguar, with the hummingbird, the eagle condor. And then when I get to the upper ones, I think I'm just going to do like an unconscious, conscious, and a super conscious type of thing going down. I'm not exactly sure. I never know until I do something what's going to come through, and I still don't know what's going to come through until it actually comes out of my mouth. Like with the jaguar, I didn't know what we were going to do, but it was really cool. I was like, wow, we're running through the jungle. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, hopefully those are helping you guys, and I am going to try to get more of them done. And I did notice that for whatever reason, in all the times that I've been making meditations and things, I never made one for the Seers Rite, so I will get one of those available as well. I think what I did was I made the Earth Keepers Rite twice, like the meditation for the Earth Keepers twice, instead of just making a Seers Rite. So I will get on that, and you guys have completed the foundation rites, so now it is time for you to move on to the lineage rites. So with the lineage rites, basically you're going to connect with 3 different lineages. There's the feminine aspect, there's the masculine aspect, and then there's basically what you're becoming through the Munay-ki. And basically, they say that with this, now for me, mine's a little different how I experienced it, and I feel like a lot of you it's going to be the same because I know a lot of you are starseeds. So what they say here is that basically these are our ancestors, okay? These are the peeps that came before us. However, if you're a starseed, your peeps may not come from the earth. They may come from the stars. So you may find that you're going to connect more so with the Star Keepers Rite, and the Star Keepers Rite is actually part of the rites to come. So what they say is, you know, basically you align with the energies of each of these lineages, okay? There's going to be the Daykeepers, which is the feminine, the Wisdom Keepers, which is the masculine, and the Earth Keepers, which is like these archangels of the earth, okay? A lot of times for people, what happens is they resonate strongly with one, and that group of beings or ancestors or keepers will stay with them and work with them, and they'll be like, hey, you know what, I figured it out. Like, I am supposed to be a midwife, I'm supposed to work with this type of energy, the feminine aspect, I'm supposed to, you know, connect with this frequency, this is my calling. And then other people may be more so like, nope, I'm going to connect with the mountains and the wisdom and, you know, a higher perspective and things like that, and the more masculine route. And then other people connect more so with the Earth Keepers, where they feel like that calling inside of them to protect the earth and to protect all of the beings around this part of the galaxy, you know, and to just kind of be helpers and healers and light workers. So you may resonate with them stronger than the other two. But I find that a lot of my starseeds end up really feeling like they didn't have one stick with them more so than the other. And then when they do the Star Keepers Rite, they're like, oh, okay, that made sense. Yep, that's when they get it. So if you go through all 3 of these and you don't feel like a big crazy connection with one of them, don't worry about it. Basically, I feel like it's probably that you're a starseed and you're going to resonate more so with the star being Star Keepers. So, having received the 4 foundation rites of the Munay-ki, which serve to strengthen and inform the luminous energy field, we are in a position to take the next step in the process of becoming who we truly are. This step offers us the opportunity to align ourselves with and take our place within the lineage of stewardship for the earth and all that lives upon her. This part of the process opens up potential for awakening the dormant prefrontal lobe of the brain, referred to by science as the God brain. All spiritual personal development we undertake fires up neuropeptides within the brain and begins to build the electrical web within this area. These next 3 rites offer us the possibility of turning this aspect of ourselves, our God brain, on fully. As with the foundation rites before, we are going to transmit and receive into our system the seed or the potential of each of these rites. So it's up to you to meditate. It's up to you to work with these. It's up to you how much of this potential turns into the possible lived reality. Okay? So like if I give you, you know, these 3 lineage rites and you don't really meditate with them, or you don't really connect with the energy, you know, not a whole lot will happen. But if you continue to meditate and be aware of the energies, more so will kind of come about. And you may even find opportunities for you to work with these energies on a day-to-day, situation as well. Like with the daykeepers, they're the feminine, they're the midwives, they're the healers, they're the herbalists, they work with, Machu Picchu, the stone temples, the stone altars. So if you're out and about and you see a big pregnant woman and she's struggling, you can call on the daykeepers to come bring her comfort and presence and, warmth and peace. And they are peace bringers too. So even if you are out and about and, there's a big fight going on, sometimes for me, when there's like a fight going on, I call on the wisdom keepers, because the wisdom keepers have the power of the mountain and they're the masculine and they're strong and whatever. But you could definitely call on the daykeepers to bring peace to that situation, especially with what's going on in the world right now. We could call on all of them to come help out and just bring some peace and some stuff to the people that are struggling and suffering. But there's always an opportunity to work with them and call on them. And so that's part of your potential too, is recognizing those opportunities and using them, and being in service to other people, because not everybody would look at a pregnant woman walking around and be like, hey, let me send her some healing. Like, some people would just notice that she's struggling and still take her seat, like the world is a little different from how it used to be. So basically you want to keep working with the seed of potential by being aware of these opportunities, being aware of, the different parts of each of them, which you'll get to know as we work with them. And, doing your meditation. You can do the same thing as we did with the archetypes, is doing like fire meditation. Fire meditation is really powerful. If you're somebody that's like sweating your ass off and you're getting tons of visuals and you're getting tons of stuff from your meditation system, like however you do it, you don't need to incorporate flame and fire and all of that. But if you're somebody that's like not really connecting, or you're not really seeing, or you're not really feeling, bring the flame in, even if it's just a candle, and gather up the heat and all of that energy of the fire and the flame and bring it to the corresponding chakra. When we get these three, they're all given the exact same way, but they connect with our power center, they connect with our heart, and they connect with our third eye. So those would be good places to connect, with just the intention too of like, I am bringing, power to the daykeepers. I'm bringing love to the daykeepers. I'm bringing vision of the daykeepers. So as we work with these next three rites, you may find that one group we align ourselves to during the transmission process, which you are going to have today with the daykeepers, remains with you in some form after the process has been completed, while others will leave fully prepared to return with assistance when called upon at a future time. So no matter what happens, whether, like if I call on these daykeepers and they come in and you feel their presence and you feel the right and you feel all of this like, feminine stuff going on, and then they leave, they're still available to you to call back in, okay? And if it happens again with the wisdom keepers, they're still available. Earth keepers, they're still available. But what they're saying is that one of them may come in and not leave. They may come in and you be like, oh, we're buddies now, like you're staying. And that's how you will know that that's your place, that's for you to work within that part of creation. So this remaining group offers the possibility of recognizing our personal place within the lexicon of creation. We carry the potential to align with all of these groups, but this remaining helps us recognize our most effective skills to service in this particular area. So if you're a woman and the daykeepers stick around, you may be a woman that is going to really benefit with like working with essential oils, or working with pregnant women, or working with, something like to do with crystals and stones and altars and temples and things like that. But if you're, a woman and you just didn't feel anything with them, and then the masculine comes in, you may be somebody that's more so meant to work with them in the power of the mountains and the like higher perspective and stepping outside of time, tasting infinity, and basically just feeling the shift. So that's basically what you need to know about the lineage rites. And if you get confused, if you have a question, let me know. The only reason I think it might be confusing for people is because, like I said, if you're a star seed, You may not have one of them remain with you, but you're not going to know for 3 weeks anyways until we're done with all 3 of these. So don't start thinking about it or creating that reality. Just know that it may be something that happens. Like, because I feel like sometimes me telling you that, you're like, okay, I expect to not make a relationship. I don't want that to be the case. I want you to connect with the one that feels appropriate for you to connect with. You can still be a starseed and still need to work with the feminine, or need to work with the masculine, or need to work with the earth keepers, or that may be where your gifts lie for you to work. That may be what your purpose is. So you don't want to be like, oh, I'm a starseed, so let me skip these 3 and not be open to or receptive to them, because you could be limiting yourself. You could be limiting and figuring out what your gifts are and what you should be doing for your purpose and your passion and all of that. Okay, so this helps us a lot to figure out, how we're supposed to be showing up in the world. And that's why I say, if it doesn't happen, don't freak out, because it's probably more so starseed energy. Okay, so the daykeepers bring healing and beauty, and the daykeepers is basically, all 3 of these are energetic transmissions that connect us to the lineage of Laika from the past. It offers us the possibility, through our alignment with this lineage of daykeepers, to start the process of healing our inner feminine, of stepping beyond fear and into the practice of peace. Traditionally, the daykeepers were masters of the ancient stone altars found in sacred places around the world, from Stonehenge to Machu Picchu. The daykeeper is able to call upon the power and the energies of these ancient altars to heal and bring balance to the world. So you may be somebody that's always been really drawn to Machu Picchu, or somebody that's really been drawn to Stonehenge, or there could just be big, we have one in New Hampshire here, where there's like the America's Stonehenge. You may be called to these sacred sites, and they may not be like big, huge ones that are known worldwide, but you could be called to work with stones, called to work with altars. You may create your own altar. You may have your own stones and rocks and things like that. And that might be an indication that you have that feminine daykeeper energy. And you can use this daykeeper's energy. You can call on the frequency of Machu Picchu. You can call on the frequency of Stonehenge to come bring peace to you, or to a situation, or to people in the world that are struggling. And the daykeeper is also able to call upon the sun to rise in the morning and accompany her setting each night, making sure humans were in harmony with Mother Earth and honored the ways of the feminine. The daykeepers were generally women, and they attended the births, the deaths, and they were the healers, the herbalists, the visionaries, knowledgeable about the ways of the feminine earth. So you may be somebody that, is really into the moon. You may be somebody that's really, into your feminine cycle and understanding it and knowing it. You may be somebody that wants to be, somebody that attends births or somebody that attends deaths. And that could be a clear indication that, hey, you know what, maybe that's something I've already done in another lifetime, or that's what my purpose in this lifetime is to do. Because sometimes people have that calling to be like present for birth or death, or, because of society, they're like, well, that's weird. I shouldn't want to be present at death. But there's nothing wrong with it. Somebody needs to be there. And if you have that calling to be there, then by all means, go do it, because that's probably why you're here. It's probably part of your calling is to go do that. So that's basically all we really need to know about the daykeepers, is that they're the feminine. And I always feel like with this, like that there should be more information, but we're already at 20 minutes, so I guess that I've given you a lot already, but it always feels like there should be more. But basically, it's anything that feels feminine. And so when I give the transmission, it's going to be the same for all 3 of these for the next 3 weeks. It's done sitting. I'll show you. I'll practice in the chair here. So all 3 are done the same way. You would have your protege sit in the chair and stand behind to begin. And you, I always have my pie stone. You don't need it, but I usually have it with me for this one. So you open, big sacred space. Then we open personal Viracocha sacred space, engulf the initiate. I always balance the energies by placing my hands on the shoulders And when I feel like they have balance, we take the pie stone, we place it on the crown, and we create like a tube, okay? Like a tube with our hand, and we're gonna blow down through the crown to open up all the chakras. So we start at the crown, blowing, opening, 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 and that gets this person open and receptive to receive the energy of the daykeepers, to receive the energy of the rite, and to receive whatever it is needed that they need to receive. And then you come around to the front and you connect with the power of these daykeepers. So I connect with my hands over my heart, and I connect and gather all of the power. Sometimes I'll come right here to my own power center, gather the power from the daykeepers, and then I bring all of that power right to their solar plexus or their belly. And it's, you know, about 30 to 60 seconds. If you're just doing the transmission, you guys know me, I do like the meditation with it, so sometimes it's a little bit longer by the time I'm done with that part. But it's you'll feel when the energy has completed. Then you come back to the heart center and you want to connect with the unconditional love of the daykeepers, fueled by that power, fueled by clarity, fueled by right action, and you bring that to their heart and allow that to transmit. And then the last one is gathering the vision, the intention, the memories, you know, all of the stuff that the daykeepers have gathered, all of their visions and their knowledge and their wisdom, and bringing that to their third eye and allowing that to transfer. And then once you feel like that has transferred, you can do the third eye to third eye. And that's again about 30 to 60 seconds. And then you put them back into their seated position. And that's basically it. It's a very quick process. And then you go to the back behind them again and you close Weracocha and congratulate. So it's a very quick thing. A lot of times when I do this in person with people, I end up doing all three of them together or two of them together, because I always feel weird giving you the feminine and being like, all right, see you in a week when we're going to balance the masculine. But because there's so many of you, because I don't want to like overwhelm you with information, we're just doing the daykeepers tonight. And then next week we're going to do the wisdom keepers. So you guys may walk around a little unbalanced for a week and you'll be fine. I'm just kidding, you'll be fine. So yes, that is how you give the rite. It's written in the manual. There is a video of me giving the rite in the Munay-ki rites group with Bridget. And it's the same for all three. Basically, just the intention changes. You want to bring the power, you know, and the love and the vision and the clarity of either the daykeeper, the wisdom keeper, or the earth keeper. And that's basically it. So I'm going to go and get you guys this rite going. So if you would like to join me to receive the daykeepers rite and you've already received the foundation rites, there will be a link down below. Thank you very much. In Munay, namaste.